Do you want to lose weight for the last time? Are you tired of the dieting roller coaster? You and I both know that most people don't achieve extraordinary results with sustainable weight loss, and most people don't live the life of their dreams, but a few do. And if you are going to be the exception and not the rule, you have to know what stops people from achieving success. So, if you want to be successful at creating the life that you dream about, not just with your weight loss goals, but in other areas of your life as well, we have to learn what those people did who have been successful at what we're trying to do, and then do what they did. And equally important is learning what people did who were not successful to avoid making those same mistakes. This is episode number 204, the 3 E's that will keep you from sustainable weight loss. This is the Healthy Real Food Podcast. I'm your coach, Erin Hart, a registered nurse and health coach who understands the struggle of feeling out of control around food and has walked the path of transformation, experiencing the miracle of sustainable weight loss with the sugar and flour-free lifestyle. If you are a woman who feels powerless against your cravings and is ready to live your life with more energy, mental clarity, and purpose, there is hope. Here we believe that with God, a mindset of unstoppability, and consistent execution of a winning strategy, anything is possible for you. So if you're ready to find freedom from food addiction, take control of your health, and pursue your dreams with renewed energy, support, and accountability, let's go. Hey, my friend, how are you? I'm really glad that you're here. I have been thinking a lot about you and a lot about today's topic and how I've seen it play out in my own journey so many times. Summer is in full swing here. I've got screaming kids in the background. We've been hiking, swimming, and I'm counting down the days so I get to go on a cruise with my siblings and my parents. It's going to be so fun. But yeah, summer is one of my favorite seasons, but it definitely brings some challenges when it comes to routines and food boundaries. If you're navigating summer with some mixed emotions too, just try to stay focused on your goals while enjoying the season. You're not alone. If you're a woman over 40 who is on a weight loss journey and is tired of that dieting roller coaster, wants to lose weight for the last time, this message today is for you. I've spent years studying what makes some people successful and why others struggle, especially when it comes to losing weight and keeping it off. And I'm here to tell you that if you've been stuck in the cycle, it's not your fault. You just haven't been shown the path that works long term. I help women lose weight for the last time with a healthy, real food lifestyle, free from sugar and flour. I lost over 100 pounds in less than a year. And after years of trial and error, I finally figured out what works and, more importantly, what doesn't work. So today, I want to talk to you about what doesn't work, because when we can know what causes most people to fail, we can be intentional about doing the opposite to create a different result. So let's dive into the 3 E's that will keep you from sustainable weight loss. They are excuses, exceptions, and ego. So let's start with excuses. They are sneaky because they usually sound so reasonable. Like, I'm too tired, I'm too busy, it's a hard season. And hey, like, those things might be true, but just because an excuse is valid doesn't mean that it serves you. Excuses will rob you of achievement, and discipline is the path to freedom. I want you to adopt the mindset that there's always a way to stay on your plan. Always. And it might look different in each season. It might be messy, but believing that it's possible is the first step. Your brain is amazing at keeping you in your comfort zone, and that's literally its job. And as you adopt the sugar and flour-free lifestyle, expect those permission-giving thoughts to pop up. Your brain wants to keep you safe, and which sometimes means sabotaging your progress when you're trying to take your life to the next level. Transformation's uncomfortable, but giving in to every urge and craving, that's really going to rob you of your peace. So the second E is exceptions. So these are sneaky too. They sound like, ah, just one little bite won't matter. And if it was really one bite, it probably wouldn't matter. But here's the thing, more begets more. And when we make exceptions, we lose our momentum. Like riding your bike up a hill, right? When you're riding your bike up a hill, you got to maintain your momentum because when you stop or slow down, it's really hard to get going again. And with our program, when we make exceptions, we break the trust that we've been building with ourselves. We start chipping away at that new identity that we're trying to create. Every bite off plan isn't just about the food, it's about who you're becoming. Every action that you take is a vote for the type of person that you wish to become, as James Clear says. So the last E is ego. And this is the hardest one to spot, right? Ego tells us that we're the exception, that we already know this, that we can do it our own way, right? I don't need to follow the plan exactly this way because I'm special. But sometimes ego is just fear in disguise, fear of a change, fear of failure, fear of not having control. And we have to be willing to surrender to the plan. You are not the exception. You have a human brain just like the rest of us. So you don't need to do it perfectly. You just need to follow the plan and own your plan. You can adjust your plan to make it work for you so you can be consistent with it. But you have to surrender to it completely. Success comes when we stop resisting what works and we start embracing consistency. Now, here's the twist. Once your sugar and flour free lifestyle starts to feel really easy and effortless, which it will when you stay consistent, it's easy to get complacent. And that's when you might start thinking, oh, maybe I'm a moderate eater now. And you loosen up those boundaries with your food. You start testing things. And before you know it, you're sliding back into old unhealthy patterns. So don't let early success convince you that you don't need structure anymore. Just stick with what works. I want to ask you a serious question. What if you don't achieve your goal? What if you quit again? Where are you going to be in a year, 5 years, 10 years if you give up? What are the consequences of never achieving success with your health goals? I want to do a quick exercise with you. James Clear calls this failure premortem. So imagine it's 1 year from now and you didn't achieve your goal. You completely failed. Tell me the story of how that happened. What excuses came up? What exceptions did you allow? Where did your ego get in the way? This exercise is so powerful. And I did this the other day with one of my clients who I've been working with for a few months. And she's just been making amazing progress. I think she's lost like 25 pounds and just feels so much more peaceful with her food. And we were talking because she has a wedding coming up. Her son's wedding is in a few more months. But in between now and then, she has a lot of trips planned. She loves to travel and she's traveling constantly, pretty much to Europe, to I don't even remember all the places that she's going, but traveling can be challenging sometimes, right? When you're new to this lifestyle, trying to navigate that. So to help her with this, I had her visualize how she wants to feel at her son's wedding and what she wants her focus to be that day. And she talked about not wanting her focus to be on herself or her weight or her own insecurities, but wanting to just be fully present with her son and to just feel her best and be comfortable in her clothes and to not be thinking about food or weight or any of that, right? I had her think about the upcoming wedding and had her imagine herself having completely failed or gone backward with her health goals. And I had her imagine in detail, like how that would be, like what that would feel like at the wedding to just be self conscious or to have the constant food chatter and negotiations with herself, to have regained all of the weight that she'd lost. And it's so painful to do that, right? Like when we envision our failure. And I think our brains naturally just imagine that. right? But this exercise, we want to use it in a helpful way. Like, what's the story of how that happened? What's the story of my future failure? And she told me going on her trips and staying with the people that are hosting her and not wanting to offend them. So just eating the things that they offered to her or going to restaurants and not wanting to miss out. It was things like that, the excuses, the exceptions, and the ego just having that diet mindset that I'm going to do this when it's convenient and make exceptions when. I feel like it. After doing this exercise with her, she realized that she has a choice. And going on these trips, she's going to go no matter what. And 3 months is going to pass no matter what happens. And she asked herself where she wants to be in 3 months, where she wants to be in a year. And she realized that the fear that she had about going on these trips and figuring out how to eat and how to navigate it all, that it was work that was worth doing to give that future version of herself that gift, that peace, that mental clarity, that peace with food and her body. And so right now she's on our trips and I just love hearing from her. She's sending me all of the pictures of how she's figuring out how to make it work. There's always a way to stay on your plan, and she is such a great example of that with all of these crazy trips and traveling that she's on right now and still staying consistent with her focus on her health goals. She told me the other day, I just keep focusing on who I want to be in 3 months, right? And how I want to show up at my son's wedding. Our brain is always going to find reasons to make exceptions or excuses or to not stick to our plan. But for us to be able to achieve extraordinary success with sustainable weight loss, we have to be disciplined and committed no matter what and maintain that personal integrity. It doesn't mean that we're going to be perfect. There are always times that we slip up, and perfection is a myth for human beings. But it's just about that growth mindset, that constant course correction, and having the mindset of unstoppability. Just keep moving forward. So, when you do this exercise, this failure premortem exercise that James Clear teaches, when you imagine yourself in the future not achieving your goal and telling yourself the story of how that happened, what excuses came up, what exceptions you allowed, how did your ego get in the way? Once you have that vision of what that pathway may potentially look like for you, I invite you to flip it. What will you do differently starting today to avoid that version of the future? I want you to hear this. Failure is not final. Failure is the best teacher, and it's part of the human experience. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. It's not about being perfect, but I want you to know that there is always a pathway to hope. And you don't have to figure it all out on your own. You don't have to do it the hard way. Coaching and mentorship make this process so much faster, easier, and way more fun. Learn from people who have been successful at what you're trying to do, and learn from people who have not been successful at what you're trying to do and don't do what they did. We're so much stronger together. So get that support and accountability and the strategy from someone who's walked this road and wants to help you to win. Be that 1% of people that achieve extraordinary success. You can do it. If there are a few people that have done it, that means you can do it too. Success leaves clues. If today's episode resonated with you, I would love to invite you to join me for my free masterclass coming up on July 3rd. It's called the 3-Step Framework to Lose Weight for the Last Time. And you can grab your free ticket right now at healthyrealfood.com before it's too late. You've got this. I believe in you, and I will see you next week. Thanks for listening today. If you enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love my coaching program. If you're struggling with your sugar and flour-free lifestyle and want to lose weight for the last time, I can help you. Just imagine living in your goal body and having peace with food. Your success is guaranteed. To learn more about how to get support, guidance, and accountability so you can find peace with food, achieve your goal body this year, and have more energy, visit www.healthyrealfood.com. While you're there, be sure to sign up for the upcoming free challenge to learn the success framework. And click the link to my schedule for a free one-to-one coaching call so we can get you started on your success path. You have the power to create the life that you want. This is the year of you. I'm cheering you on. Now go win the day. You got this.